Sensory bins are a wonderful way to help your little kids develop fine motor skills. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 sensory bins that are quick and easy to put together that are perfect for fall. Hi, I'm Christy with Homeschooling in Progress, and my kids have loved sensory bins. They are a really fun way to help your kids develop fine motor skills, and I've also found them to be a great learning tool for my little ones to use while I'm teaching my older kids. If you're new to sensory bins, make sure you check out the link below where I share a bunch of videos all about how to set them up and different themes that you can use. I'll also leave a link to my blog where I tell you everything that you're going to need to know to set up your sensory bin, including what to put in it, what bins to use, and different ideas to use throughout the year. So let's go check out the ones that I've created for fall. Now, the first sensory bin I'd like to share with you is a pumpkin theme. And so this is perfect for fall. And I'm starting with my container, which is just a plastic storage bin that I got at Dollar Tree. So not very expensive. It does come with a lid, which is great because I like to make my sensory bins about once a month and then just put them on shelves and store them until my little one is going to use them. And so these bins that come with lids are great for that. I don't have to worry about all the pieces going flying everywhere and making a big mess. So here I just have my basic bin, and I just added some colored chickpeas to it. And it's just a nice colorful way to bring more of that seasonal theme here. Then for this one, you can add in some numbers if you'd like. This is a great way to help your kids who are learning their numbers and counting. I have some little pumpkin number cards here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them in this little bucket that's orange. And then I just have a bunch of little pumpkin table scatter. I have had this for a while. I think I got it maybe at Hobby Lobby, possibly at the Dollar Tree or in the Target dollar spot, just anywhere that you can find this little table filler. Just little plastic pieces of pumpkins. I think I actually have a couple sets here. And I'm just going to kind of put these in to the sensory bin, just kind of spread them out here. And then I have a little pair of tongs that I got at Hobby Lobby. And these are kind of a fallish color. They have lots of different colors and they're not very expensive. So when I see them 40% off, I usually try to grab a couple in some colors that are seasonal. It just makes a nice little addition to your sensory bin to have it kind of in the same color as your theme. And there you go. So I can easily cover it when I'm not using it to store it. But then as soon as my little one wants to play with it, it's ready to go. The little ones can pull out a number, and then they can use the tongs to pick up the pumpkins for that number. So here we have 1 pumpkin. And then you can do the next number and pick out 2 pumpkins. They can just kind of pick them up if they'd like to and put them in the bucket. Lots of different ways for the kids to play with these. And I don't really tell my little one how to play with this. I mostly set it up in a way that kind of invites him to use it the way I'm kind of hoping he'll use it. But if he wants to play with it a different way, that is perfectly fine with me, because what I'm more interested in is just him being able to use those fine motor skills and develop them. You'll see using these tongs is a great way to strengthen those hand muscles that he's eventually going to use for writing and cutting. Another fun fall sensory bin idea is to use a leaf theme. The leaves are changing colors and falling in the fall, so it's a perfect theme to go along with your fall sensory bins. And for this bin, I'm just using another storage container. This one's a little different. I got this one at Walmart, and it has a lid that comes with it, and then it can snap on. So it makes it really easy for storage and for moving to the table and then back. And this one is a little bit longer than the other one that I showed you with the pumpkins, but not quite as deep. So just a different experience. I filled this one with some popping kernels. Didn't do anything to them, but open up the bag and pour it in. So super easy. And I have a couple of ideas for this one. Again, I have the table scatter that I purchased. I think I might have gotten both of these at Hobby Lobby. I know this one I definitely did because I've purchased that more recently. But again, you can find these Hobby Lobby, maybe even Michael's, Dollar Tree, just different places that have fun little table scatter for holiday decorating. Now, for one of the ideas I have, you can put some cards. These are similar to the pumpkin cards that I showed you. And these have leaves on them with the different numbers. So you could kind of, instead of putting them in a basket, maybe hide them and the kids have to find them. And then we'll just put a few in here. And then you can add in some of the fall leaves. These are just little wooden leaves. And just kind of move those around, maybe hide a few of those also. And then put some fun tongs in with it. These are little hand tongs that are red, so kind of bringing in those fall colors. And your kids can hunt for a card, or they can pick up a card with the tongs, and then put these on a table, and then they can find that many leaves. So here we have 1 and 2. You can even have them find the same color leaves, or make a pattern with the leaves. You could have them find the cards and put the cards in order. So then we could do 1, 2, 3. And then after they put the cards in order, you could have them then find the leaves and put those with the correct number. So they could find 3 leaves to put under the number 3 card. So this is a really fun way to add in some math skills with your preschooler. Another fun leaf theme that you can do is using this table scatter. So these are just little plastic leaves, and I'm just going to kind of put them throughout the base of my popping kernels. And you can use just plain rice. You can color the rice. You could use oats. You could just use brown shredded paper. Just anything you would like to use as a filler is fine. And then we're going to go ahead and just put a little bowl in here with a scoop. And so the kids can find the leaves and scoop them in. They can just scoop in the popping kernels if they'd rather. You also instead could add in, or in addition to, add in the tongs. And then the kids could use the tongs to make a pattern with the leaves. So you could have them do red, yellow, green, and then repeat it with red. I can pick them up here. Red, yellow, and green. So just another way to introduce some various skills that they're going to need to learn along with those fine motor skills. So they're practicing their fine motor skills with the scooping and the pouring, or with the tongs. And then they're also practicing some math skills of making patterns. They could count the leaves as well. So again, just some fun ways to help develop skills where the kids, they're just having fun and playing, but yet they're still learning. Another fun fall sensory bin is to find something that's a little bit different for sensory, for different textures than you usually use. I found some mesh tubing at the Dollar Tree, which looks really fun. So I'm just going to cut this up into a bunch of pieces and add them to my storage container. And this storage container is a lot smaller than the last 2 that I showed you. It's about as deep as the one that I used the leaves with, but a lot smaller also. And again, this one has a nice lid to it, so it's great for storage. And I found this one at the Dollar Tree also. I really like going to the dollar store to find things for sensory bins because they're usually inexpensive. They change out frequently with the seasons, and it's just, they have a lot of fun stuff a lot of times that the kids have a lot of fun with. All right, so now that it's cut up, then we can go ahead and add some different things to it. And you could just really use just the little mesh tubing as is. I cut it into different sizes, so you could have your preschooler find the different pieces of the different sized pieces and put them together according to size, from smallest to largest, or largest to smallest, like that. You could have them find pieces that are the same size so that they're comparing and finding pieces that are about the same size. So that's another different skill that you can use with these. You could add a bowl to this and have the kids scoop them into the bowl, or have them use their tongs to put them into the bowl. They can count them as they're doing that. Or you can use the mesh tubing as more of a base and then add in some fun things like little spiders, since we're doing a fall theme. That's really fun colors here. When I picked up the orange tubing, they did also have different colors like white. I think they also had black and purple and maybe even like a lime green. So you could have some fun with different colors and maybe put several different colors in, and they could use them to make patterns. But this is just really fun also. They can pick up the spiders or put the spiders into a bowl. They can make patterns with spider and then the orange tubing. Just some different ideas there. Or you could even use some of the table scatter that we were using for the other bins. That's a great way to kind of reuse them. You could kind of hide them in there and the kids have to either dig with it, because this is just fun to touch, or they can use their scoop and pick it up. So, lots of different ideas for a really simple little sensory bin here. Another sensory bin idea is to just use all of the different materials you have that are kind of fall colored or fall related, and just put them together for your kids to explore. So here I'm using the same bin that I had used earlier with the popcorn kernels and the fall leaves. And for this one, you could use some decorative paper shred for your base. So I'm just going to take this and just kind of spread it throughout the bottom here. And I like using different types of dry materials like this, because if this ends up on my floor, I can just easily vacuum it up. If your kids like to use things like shaving cream or water, that's fine too. You could always take it outside if you don't want to mess inside. But I like to just have things that my preschooler can work on while I'm teaching my older kids. So it's something that we're going to want to have in our house. And so I like to use just the dry things like this. So along with this, you could use just little fun filler pieces. These are some acorns that I got at Hobby Lobby, just in their fall area. And then we have some squirrels that can go with it. So your kids can find the squirrels and acorns. That's really fun. They could you could add in some of the fall leaves. Just how pretty that is, just for the visual of the fall colors, the textures for the touch. You can also add in some different pom-poms if you'd like. These were at the dollar store. They had them in the different colors for, this was in the Christmas section, which you easily could use in the fall too. And these orange ones were in the fall section. Again, I like using things that I can reuse. So pom-poms are great for that, because you can use different colors for different seasons. You could add in just a simple basket and have the kids use tongs or a scoop or their fingers and pick up the little pieces and put them into the bowl. You could even have them use several different bowls. These were just from the dollar section and their little party area. And you could have, I have 3 different things in here, so the kids can put them into 3 different bowls and practice sorting skills. So they can put the leaves in one. They can put the acorns in another. Where's the little squirrel? And then we could put the squirrels in a third one. And so they can practice sorting skills. They could practice counting. They could make patterns again. They could do leaf, acorn, squirrel, or do an ABB pattern. Leaf, acorn, acorn. Leaf, acorn, acorn. So again, lots of fun ways to just put things together for your kids to do. And again, you don't have to set a certain activity up, you could just kind of give them this bin and not even tell them what to do. They can open it up and play with it as they want. They're still learning, they're still using those fine motor skills. A final fall sensory bin I want to show you is one that can be for pretending to make apple pie. And for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and use the same container that I was using before. I did pick up about 5 of these when I saw them at Walmart because I can, like I said, I like to have some ready to go each month, and so I can just make them all up and stick them on a shelf. So this is a really good size for stacking. Okay, so for this one, to make our apple pie, we're going to have some oats, and we're just going to go ahead and open that up and put them on the bottom. And you can see here, like I was saying earlier, I like to reuse these. And so I just store everything in a plastic baggie, and I put a bunch of plastic baggies in a fabric storage bin that's on a bookshelf or in a cabinet, and then I can just easily reuse it each year. So I don't have to spend a lot of money. I can, especially year to year, I can recreate the same bins or use the same filler. So I can use the materials over and over again. So we're going to go ahead and put in our oats. And then we'll just put a few little cinnamon sticks around here. These are really fun for the kids. They smell really good, so you're bringing in some more senses. Then we have some pom-poms. I just got these at the dollar store, but you can find these anywhere. So we'll just sprinkle a few in here for our apples. You can also find apple filler, the table scatter. So you could use those instead if you don't want the oats sticking to the pom-poms. And then I just have here a metal tin, a little muffin tin. You could get maybe like a little tart pan. So you just have 1 or 2 smaller ones. I don't have any of those right now, so I'm just going to use this. You could have it where you put this in half of it, so then it's not as much of a mess. And you just put this on the other half. Or you can have your kids put this on a tray and use it. But then they could use a scoop here to scoop in some of the oats. My little preschooler loves to scoop the oats. And we'll put in a few apples with it there. And then they can pick up a cinnamon stick, or they can use their tongs to pick up a cinnamon stick. They can put in apples. So lots of fun ways to use those fine motor skills. Or just scooping is fun too. And then when they're all done, they can just dump it out and start over again. This was a favorite last year of my preschooler, so I'm sure he's going to enjoy it again this year. So hopefully those sensory bins that I just showed you will inspire you to create some for your little one as well. They're a great tool for practicing those fine motor skills, adding in some different skills like math and language. Again, I'll leave links below so that you can see my blog post and my other videos on sensory bins. So if you're new to them, you can find out everything you need to know about getting them set up. Thanks for watching, and happy homeschooling.